we take it on a test drive now. Okay guys, so what's the plan now? I have found two 130 coupes. One is in Milano, the other one is in Genova. So what we do now is head down to Italy. That's 600 kilometers across Austria, across the Alps, and first to get to Milano, and then it's another 200 kilometers from Milano to Genova. I think it's a very nice trip because we have beautiful weather and the scenery along the motorway in Austria is, I think, very beautiful, so I want to show you a little bit of that. Enjoy the trip. Okay, so which are the cars that we want to have a look at? Both of them are one-owner cars, so very interesting, I think. The first one is this blue inside beige one, which is in Milano. It has 24,000 kilometer, no, cannot be true, probably 124,000 kilometer, but that would also be okay. It's a very late model, 1977, and it should cost 16,500 euros. And the seller says it is in ottimo stato, which I translate as perfect condition. The second one is this, also blue model with red color inside. It is, I always say it's close to Genova, which is not really true because it's Alessandria, quite a few kilometers north of Genova. It has 89,000 kilometers. It's an earlier model, 1973, quite similar price with 17,100. And this one has been revised. There has been a lot of technical work done to the engine and to the gearbox. The seller says 9,000 euro, which would be a lot, and then it should be really technically in a very good state. And at least on the photos, it also looks very nice inside with this red color velour. Here on the internet they say 227 horsepower, which absolutely cannot be correct. It would be 165. That is the only engine that was offered in the two-door version of the 130. Okay, so let's get started. Well, originally I hoped that here in Germany I can drive at least with 130 or 150, but there's just traffic jam all along, and currently I am moving at a speed of I think 10 kilometers per hour. That's nothing. It's really a nightmare. Okay, so now we can finally go a little bit faster, at least 130, and I think it's a very scenic route. I like it a lot because you can see the mountains with the snow right and left of the autobahn, and so very positive minded now that we can make it in time, that we are in Italy, in Milan, and probably I think the late afternoon. That would be fine. Then we can have a look at the first car tomorrow morning. Okay, so here we are now at the border to Austria. Exactly now, here you can see the sign. So in Austria you have the speed limit of just 100, and at least on this motorway. So we will take it a little bit more slowly, no problem. So now we are heading straight up the Brennero, which is the gateway to Italy. Now we are just about to reach the Italian border. Just a few hundred meters to go. Here, that's it. That's the border to Italy.
Dem Straßenverlauf von E45 für 206 Kilometer folgen.
So we are now about halfway, and it means we still have 300 kilometers to go today. Okay, so we have our ticket. That's a bit of an annoying thing here in Italy, because on the autostrada you have to pay. I am not absolutely sure if you can read that, but that's the price for the gas, and it was now something between 170 and 180 for 1 liter of diesel. And if you can remember what I just paid in Austria, that was €1.09. So it's 70 cents more expensive. That's really more than 50% more expensive than in Austria. Now I will show you the really good thing about Italian autostrada, and that's the espresso and cappuccino that you can get there. Really looking forward to that now.
Pronto cappuccio.
Grazie. Good. After this perfect cappuccino, we continue. Okay, so here we are now at our first dealer. That's Gran Sasso Car, close to Milano. Okay, this is now the first Fiat in Milano. Let's have a look. I think it's not as perfect as described. I can already see some rust here. And I think the doors, they do not look absolutely straight. Interior is quite nice, but I think here under the door I can already see some rust, which is not so perfect. Very, very small dent in the windscreen, which is still okay, but it would be a big problem if that has major damage, because you cannot get this windscreen anymore. Headlights look good. The chrome on the bumpers could be better. Here is also a little bit of damage to the bumper. That looks awful. I think that one would have to be completely replaced. let's see how it starts. Probably they started it already in the morning. So here the chrome of the bumpers doesn't really look good. Okay, so underneath it doesn't look bad. Maybe a little bit the exhaust pipe, but in fact I think it's just surfaced rust. That would be okay. I cannot see any rust down there. That in fact doesn't everything that look really bad. That would be okay. The brakes seem to be made new. And here is a little bit of play. I'm not sure if that's okay or if that would be a problem. There I would have to ask an expert. In fact, I don't know. Well, I think probably someone smoked. That doesn't look so perfect. Here is also a little bit of damage. So, what kind of condition is that? I would say it is a 3 plus or 2 to 3. Definitely not better. So, we take it on a test drive now. Funny number plate on it. But I like the sound. Okay guys, I think it's time to make a resume about the first car. I think the big positive thing is it's a first owner car. It's a very honest seller. This old guy, I liked him really a lot. He owns several Ferraris. He took care of the car himself. So I think technically it is really in a very good shape. Then the interior looks quite fine. There are some small minor damages, but I think the interior is very nice, at least compared with other cars that I have seen already. And it doesn't really have rust. I mean, there are some small minor rust problems, but it's not the big issue. So that are the positive things. What are the negative things? It definitely has to be resprayed on the driver's side, and also the hood. It doesn't look straight and clean. So I think it has to be resprayed. Then it needs new tires. The wheels have to be refurbished. So for that you need for sure 3,000 euros. And if you spend the 3,000 euros, you have a car that is in a condition, let's say 2 minus. So a car that is 2 minus has a value of maybe let's say 15,000 euros minus the 3,000 that you have to spend. So the car, I would say, has a value of 12,000. That is 4,500 less than he is asking for. So I didn't really start negotiating with that guy because I am not sure if I want to have it. Because I am a little bit of a perfectionist, so I think I would have a problem with small minor things that is in the interior, with the chrome of the bumpers and this kind of stuff. And also I would say you can just leave it in the condition apart from the respray and live with that. Or if you start to do everything, it becomes much too expensive. So then probably you spend 8,000 euro or something like that, which doesn't make sense. So for me, I would say I do not want to have the car, even if it is technically in good shape, and I think someone else could be happy with it. And so if someone is interested in getting the phone number and contact details of that guy, just send me a private message and I will give you. And I will have a look at the next car, which is, by the way, an automatic. So the shifter would definitely be the better choice, like this one that we have just seen. But also condition for me is more important than what kind of transmission it has. So I will have a look at the next car and I hope it is in a better condition. Let's see. Okay, here we are now at the dealer, which is close to Genova. Buongiorno.
Andrea,
Hello.
Hello. Here the car. The car is totally restored for the mechanic.
Okay.
The engine was done by the Auto Pirovani Milano.
Okay.
Auto Pirovani is the best mechanic for 130. He works for the Museo Fiat and also for other Lo Presto collection. And we pay 9,000 euro for the restoration of the engine.
You did that? Or?
Yes, we have the documentation, the invoice,
Okay.
and for the exhaust system, the suspension, tires, all new.
Okay.
The gearbox is new, totally new.
Okay.
New, and only we left to do is the body because it's original color without restoration. And in Italy is more is best to take the original paint. Also is you can see some scratch, but this is original.
Okay.
If you want with 1,000 euro you can remake, but it's not original. So
1,000 euro?
Yes, 1,050.
But it's not the first color on this car.
Yes,
No, never ever.
No?
Definitely not.
You can see.
For sure not. No, but you can see everywhere here. It's painted new, 100%. Here, you see that? Here. That has been painted new. Here as well. Is it fit for a test drive?
Yes, sure.
Okay, fine. Okay, so this was the second car. I didn't like it because, in fact, I think the seller tried to bullshit a little bit. He pretended that this was the original paint, but it definitely was not. So you could see the traces of new sprayed paint along the rubber seals, and in fact all of the car has been painted already, and it was very, very poorly done, because you could see the bubbles and the paint breaking. So in fact it would need a complete respray, and I am not really sure what is underneath. So technically I think it was okay. I believe that the seller spent a lot of money to have it completely refurbished. So the engine, the gearbox, the suspension, there has been a lot done, and it seems that there are invoices totaling nearly 9,000 euros. So I think technically it is quite okay, or it is good, but it would need a respray, and total respray you cannot get, I think, for less than, if you want to do it properly, probably 5,000 or 6,000 euros. So in fact this car is again maximum value of, I would say, maybe 11,000 euros, even with all of the technical stuff done. But you need the respray, and after that it's not worth more than maybe 17,000 euros. And from the inside it was very clean and nice, so the seats were nearly perfect. There was a very small problem at the back seat in the upper part, but in fact it's not really worth mentioning that. But yeah, I didn't like that the seller wasn't honest about what has been done to the paint of the car. So for me it is a no. And yeah, unfortunately I was not successful this time in Italy, and I have to continue searching.